Hey guys, Zach here. Gonna do a little battle belt update video today. My high-speed gear battle belt video, my original one, got quite a few views, ton of comments, ton of criticisms, ton of thumbs up, and so on. So anyway, I ran that other setup for, I don't know, maybe about close to a year, and there were some things about it that I liked, there were some things about it that I didn't like too much, and I decided to change it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a video for you folks today and kind of give you the breakdown of how I changed it up. If you were watching the original video, I have this video linked in that video, so you could get the most recent iteration of my battle belt. So starting off, the actual belt itself is a high-speed gear Sure Grip padded belt. Originally I had this Coyote Tan belt. You reference back to my older video, and what I've gone ahead and done is High Speed Gear has put out recently, I think a lot of the companies are doing this, an urban or tactical gray coloration of the High Speed Gear belt. And you might wonder, well, why'd you bother switching from tan to gray? You know, what's the big deal there? Well, the original belt that I bought was a small, and that belt didn't wrap around my waist quite far enough. I didn't really pay close attention. That'll be a lesson to you. I didn't pay close attention to the measurements, and the small was just a little bit too small. Yes, it worked, but it didn't wrap around in the front quite enough to position my my mag pouches and my holster exactly where I wanted it. So when I saw this gray iteration pop up, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I decided, well, I'll get the larger belt, but I'll get it in the gray and give the gray a try. So that was the reason for that change. The inner belt itself, same inner belt, it's black. It's a tag gear, Shellback Tactical tag gear, one of those two. Rigger belt, works fine for me. Of course, you can order this high-speed gear belt with either a regular inner belt or a rigger's belt. But of course, I already had one. I've got a few of these, and these things aren't cheap, 50 to 80 bucks or more for one of these belts. So if you've got one, no reason to buy another one. Starting on this end, and I'll just kind of walk down from left to right here on how I have it set up. Same as in my original video, I have two green high-speed gear taco pouches, the double stack, so I can hold a AR-15 style mag or larger, as well as two pistol mags. Here's a new addition here to my belt setup. If you remember, if you watched my previous video, you know that I had a little, what is it, Maxpedition roly-poly dump pouch. It was an okay dump pouch, but the quality really wasn't there for me. So I ponied up and I got myself a high-speed gear magnet. What I really like about this pouch, without spending too much time on just the pouch, is that it has this tubing around the opening, so that when you roll it out and you're running around and you're doing run and gun or practice or whatever you're doing, this pouch actually stays open, and once you put the mags in, they pretty much stay in there. When you're shaking around, the mags, they stay right snug in that pouch and you don't lose anything. Towards the back here, originally I had a black version of this Maxpedition, kind of like one of their med pouches, and I had some miscellaneous crap in there, and I caught some flack because I had some basic band-aids and real basic first aid in this kit. Caught some flack for one, having stuff right in the center of my back, which I've had more than a few people tell me you shouldn't have stuff in the center of your back because if you fall, yada yada, you're going to bust your spine. I really never had anything hard enough in here that I would feel like if I fell on it, it would injure my spine. Not any more than the fall itself. But that being said, I found that what I had in here I couldn't access it, for one, because it was in the center of my back, not quickly anyway, and for two, the things that I had in here I really didn't need. You know, the things I have in here I generally will carry in a pack or on an LBE, or you know, on a chest rig of some sort. So I got rid of that, trying to simplify this belt a little bit. However, I did add a actual full-on bleeder blowout kit. This one here is from, moving around here, moving to right, this one is from Dark Angel Medical. I'm not going to go into all the contents of this kit. Maybe I'll do a separate video on it, nor do I want to rip into all the packaging and take everything out. But highly recommended. This is something you should always have if you're going to run a Battle Belt setup or an LBE setup, or even if you're just, a responsible person, you want to keep one in your vehicle. I have one of their EDC size kits that I carry in my EDC pack, and I also have a similar one of these from ITS Tactical in my Jeep. I do a lot of off-roading and a lot of camping and stuff, so it's good to have those type of kits in close by for if you do need them. Hopefully you never do, but if you do, better safe than sorry. Moving along. I do have an extra tourniquet with this particular kit that I carry as well. You might recognize my Spartan Blade Works Horcus. Still carrying this blade, really digging it still. Of course it is multicam, so some guys in my original video were, hey, how come you have green and multicam and gray and so on? Well, this one was a gift, What do you want? You can't always have everything match perfectly. I think it's mostly the airsoft kids that are the ones that like to comment on matching everything. That being said, having run this for over a year now, I'm kind of thinking about switching to a Kydex. I'm thinking a Kydex might be a little bit better for both retention and for just how it would mount up for me. I think it would work better. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back. In my previous video, I was running a drop leg Serpa, or I have a couple different setups that I run. A kind of a universal, and I don't know if I have it near. Here it is. I was running a universal, I don't know if it's Voodoo or something, I got it at a gun show. Universal pistol carrier pouch here. I've kind of gotten rid of that. The retention on it was pretty crappy. The molly didn't really line up well. And I've switched over to, and I had this for a long time. I had it back then, even when I did the first video, but I didn't have all the right pieces to make it work, and that's one of the trick parts about these holsters. This is a Safariland, and I'll go ahead and release the gun here. I've got my M&P, my 40. I have this same gun in a 5-inch and a 9mm, and I had a shield, but I got rid of it. Still one of my favorite polymer type pistols. My personal favorites. I'll go ahead and pull this off. So what you've got here is the Safariland quick locking. I think it's a QLS or quick molly system, QLS, QMS, something like that. Safariland holster with the quick locking attachment. You can see here that it slides in, and these are really cool if you're going to set these up. These are kind of like the G-code holsters where you can snap one of these off and snap another one on for a different gun and so on. Right now I only have this one for my M&P, so I'm kind of limited to just that. Although I do have the female end of various different places in the vehicle, under the desk, a few different places where I can pull this out and holster this weapon. I went ahead and ran with the little bit lower drop version of it, so it actually threads through high-speed gear belt. Which, again, these high-speed gear belts, if you're not familiar, if you hadn't watched the previous video, they have these nice cutouts in the belt, on both sides and in the rear, where you can weave these type of holsters through, or a dump pouch, or however you really want to set it up. I've determined over the course of using this type of setup that I prefer mine to be just a little bit lower off the molly itself. And the reason for that, there's kind of two reasons. One being, if I'm wearing an LBE, a chest or a sling or any kind of chest rig at all, it's just easier for me to get this sucker back in here. It's just easier for me to draw my pistol from the gear that's up around my waist. It gives me a little bit more flexibility and a little bit easier for me to draw my pistol. And even if I'm not wearing a chest rig or LBE or anything else, for me, my draw feels a little bit more natural when I'm drawing from just a little bit lower. So on this belt, and the belt itself, as if you're a belt owner, you know the belts kind of sit a little bit higher than a normal belt would anyway, up on your waist. So it works pretty well for me to have it just a little bit lower, and this, I'm really digging this setup. You might notice that this particular holster has this bulbous end here. Really what that is for a light. So if I run my light with this M&P, that holster will work. The nice thing about these Safariland holsters, and I don't have a lot of experience with light laser combos and holsters of other brands, but with the Safariland one I can run it either with the light or without the light, and the gun still has perfect retention. So if I put the gun in, no light at all, it locks right in, no issue at all. So that's one bonus I'll give to the Safariland is, you know, if you have the light on, if you don't, doesn't really matter. If you're kind of on the fence for whether you're going to have a light or not, I'd say go ahead and buy the one that's made for the light, so that if you decide later to put a light on, you don't have a useless holster. So just save yourself another 50 or 80 bucks, whatever these holsters run. Finally, all the way down here on the end, I have a single high-speed gear pistol mag pouch that I'm running on this side of the belt. Whoop, bump my camera. And what I have in there is a Multitasker Series 3, which I've been trying out. Hasn't gotten a lot of use yet, so I'm not going to really speak too much to it. Of course, I got mine in green from Rainier Arms. It's a little bit snug in this pistol mag pouch from High Speed Gear, but I can manage to get it in there, and it does hold very well. That's another reason why I'm just in love with these High Speed Gear pouches. I mean, you can blow them out to fit just about anything. You know, outside of mags and pistol mags and rifle mags and different mags, you can find, you know, you could find all sorts of, you could put flashlights in these. Of course, this Multitasker Series 3, this is quite a large multi-tool, and it fits in there pretty easily. With a little bit of, you loosen it up just a little bit, you can get that guy right in there. See, I'll probably do a more complete video on that after I get a little bit more use of it, but I just wanted to go ahead and show kind of how I have my belt set up now, to give you guys some ideas. I have run around with this belt for maybe a couple months now, and so far I'm really liking it. I don't think I'll be changing it again, other than maybe switching again the knife to a Kydex. I have a G-Code RTI system holster coming. I'm going to try that out, and I'll do a comparison vid on the Safariland to the G-Code to give you guys another look and another data point there. But other than that, hopefully you've enjoyed watching. I'm really also digging this gray. For you guys that want to check out this gray color, this gray is a very close match, if not identical, to the Blue Force gear, which is, I believe, the Arc'teryx Urban Gray or Wolf Gray or Urban Wolf Gray or something along those lines. So here's their chest rig here, and you can see that the color matches almost perfectly. So it's good to see that a lot of manufacturers are getting on board with getting their colors synced up. You can see that my Dark Angel med kit is a little bit different green than my High Speed Gear Ranger green stuff. Lastly, let me just throw this belt on, something I didn't do previously, and show you just what it looks like on. Throw it on real quick for you, give you an idea. So you can see, oh, I need to get it a little bit higher here for you. You can see how my pistol rides just a little bit lower on this side, not too low. It rides about where my belt would be if I had my pistol holstered just to my pants, my regular trouser belt. Give you kind of a complete look here. My dump pouch, easily accessible here on the side. I like to have all of this one-stop shopping on the one side. Of course, the back is fine, it's clear. Right around, med kit, knife, pistol, multi-tool. Real easy to get in and out. Just works so well. Of course, with Sure Grip padded belt, you see that it really just holds good. I've had people recommend other belts to me since I've made my original video, and you know, I really, of course, I believe that there are a lot of good belts out there that manufacturers are putting out, but I'm kind of the opinion of if it ain't broke, don't fix it with these Sure Grip belts. I really love the high-speed gear stuff, and I can't say enough good things about it. Anyway, guys, hopefully you've got some good information from this video. You can see here that this belt closes a little bit further in the front for me, which gives me a little bit more real estate around the side, where my brown one was back here somewhere, so it moved everything a little further back and it didn't work quite as well. But to finally jump off here, hopefully you've gotten some good information from this vid. Go ahead, and I'm sure you guys there's 100 million opinions on the internet. Go ahead and post your criticisms below, and you know, if you like it, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.